Hey everybody! So, real quick channel update before I get into this story. First of all, you're gonna hear a lot of motorcycles. I'm sorry, this is my neighborhood. There's lots and lots of motorcycles. Channel update. So, I got a lot of views and responses to my last video where I talked about some problems that I was having at work, and I decided to make that video private. I like the attention and everything, but after approximately 5 minutes of reflection, it's obvious that I shouldn't talk about my job and my problems with my job online in a public forum. That's stupid. The internet isn't my job. My job is my job. I'm serious about my job, and I don't even need to explain it. The potential consequences of posting something like that online just really outweigh any of the venting benefits I could get. So just from here on out, I'm going to keep my work life and my personal life, not my personal life, my internet life, totally separate, just because I'm really trying not to be a dumbass. So there's that. But anyway, so I got my driver's license today. Do you know how long it's been since I've had a driver's license? I don't. I think 2011, probably. So I discussed this in my other video about getting my learner's permit, but basically, oh sorry, I just ate a bunch of pasta. I'm like hiccuping. I'm like so full of carbs. I posted in my learner's permit video why my license was revoked, blah, 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 blah. Long story short, I had a bunch of unpaid tickets. I got really sick. I couldn't work. I had to sell my car for rent. And I didn't pay these tickets because, like, I can't live. Why am I going to pay tickets on a car I don't even have anymore? And I waited such a long time that they suspended my license, and then my license was revoked. So now I am 31 years old, soon to be 32. My birthday is later this month, so stay tuned for that meltdown. But now at 31 years old, I've had to take my written exam again, and today was the final stage. It was the road test, and I fucking did it, guys, and so this is a story time about that. So I went to my sister's house 8 o'clock this morning. The other day on Saturday, I practiced driving in her car. I practiced parallel parking. I went through the checklist, all the things you need to know. Where are the wipers? Where are the high beams? That sort of thing, you know, and like I drove on the highway and everything seemed to be going pretty well. So I walked into this feeling nervous, but knowing that it probably was going to be okay. But I just have a fear of things being pulled out from under me just at the last second, so, you know. So we drove up to the testing station. First of all, let me tell you about some bullshit that you have to go through as an adult if you do not have a driver's license and you need one. First of all, had to prove I had insurance. Had to get auto insurance with no car and no learner's permit. Okay, that was the prerequisite for them getting me my learner's permit in the first place. Second of all, in order to take the road test, there are no testing stations in the city of Minneapolis. You have to get to the suburbs, and you have to provide your own vehicle. So I'm very lucky that I have family who can help me with this, but certainly if I was less fortunate, it would be fucking impossible to get my driver's license. So that is something that I'm real clear on now, is that the Minnesota driver's license system is not built for poor people, okay? But anyway, but my sister luckily let me borrow her car. We drove up there. We had to get in the car line, whatever. And right before the window, there's a sign that says, "Have your learner's permit, have the insurance on your car, and also have your copy of your driving record." Copy of your driving record. The thing they told me I needed. That I took a special trip to the DMV, which I also discussed in my learner's permit video, just to get. I had it like notarized at the DMV. Like, it has all of my information. It had the fact that I had proved that I had insurance on there. And I just fucking forgot it. Plain old forgot. Did not even think of it. It wasn't even like, I gotta remember to do that, and I forgot that. I just forgot it existed. I completely forgot that part of the story. So we're right about to get up to the window, and I'm like, I've already fucked it up. They're not even gonna let me take the test. That was the nightmare, is that I get there and there's something wrong and I can't even take the test. So I'm already like half crying. Like, before I went in, I said to my sister, I was like, listen, this is the way I'm thinking of it. I don't have to pass the test. I just have to not cry. So I'm already like almost breaking one of my rules. I'm almost like weepy just because I think I fucked up and I'm not going to be able to take my test. But miracle, they didn't even ask for it. So I don't know who got information wrong somewhere. It wasn't me. I knew that this is what they told me I had to do, but apparently not that important. So we're waiting in line, in the car line, you know, and I see my test instructor coming up. And I'm like, okay, I know this bitch. I know this bitch. This is a bitch just like all the ladies that work at my office. You know, she's professional. She looks like an accountant. She's like middle-aged. She's very clean cut. You know, like I get along with women like this. They like me. So I'm like, oh, I've got this in the bag. She's gonna like me, right? Mm-mm. No. She was clearly very annoyed. It was 9:20 a.m. She'd had a long day. So, I'll light this cigarette real quick. And yes, I am back on my bullshit with the cigarettes and the wine. I know, guys. I know. So she gets in the car. First, it's the equipment check, where you have to like, where are the headlights? Where is the seat adjustment? How do you adjust your mirrors? Where's the fuel gauge? What does it say? That sort of thing. And I had gone through this entire checklist with my sister like 5 times before she got in the car. Once she got in the car, just all out the window. Didn't know high beams from low beams. Couldn't figure out how to defrost the windows. Real important here in Minnesota. And she was like, just sort of patiently like, this idiot, you know, like you didn't know you were coming here today. Like I get stress-related IQ loss. It's not my fault, okay? But anyway, so she's like, yeah, okay, so this is how you defrost the windows. This light means it's your high beams, blah, blah, blah. And I was just like, because I thought that if you fail the equipment check, you don't even get to take the test. So I just looked at her and I was like, listen, can you just tell me, did I already fail this test? She's all kind of huffy and she's like, we'll discuss the scoring at the end of the test. So apparently I got to take it. So I pull out, whatever. We're going around the course. Everything is going pretty okay until I don't look in an intersection, and she's like, you need to look when you're going across an intersection. Don't look at me. Nothing about me is going to tell you what's going on in the road. And I'm like, and then we, you know, it's like a one way and you have to turn, and I turned into the wrong lane, and I'm like, this is going terribly. I've gone through this entire 4-month process to get here and I'm fucking it up. I am fucking it up. So it gets to be the 90-degree back test. Motorcycle. Big bikers here in this neighborhood. I love it. Not annoying at all. Anyway, so it gets to be the 90-degree back, where you have to like pull in backwards into a parking spot, right? I hit the curb and I hit a pole. So at this point, I'm like, well, it's over. I have failed this test. I kind of relaxed a little bit. I was just like, lol, I guess this is just practice. It became funny to me in a not funny kind of way. You know, I was just like, okay, great. Well, I was prepared for this because I was intentionally kind of expecting the worst. So that way, if the worst happened, I wouldn't be unprepared, right? Okay, anyway. So I hit the pole and I like get in there and I start pulling out and she's like, stop the car. And I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like trying to pull over to the side of the road and she's like, stop the car. I like stopped in the middle of the road. She gets out. She's like readjusting the pole and stuff. And I'm just sitting in the car like, oh. Could this have gone any worse? I can't believe I was so worried about a clerical error that it didn't really occur to me that I would fuck up on so many things in the actual test itself, right? So we finish out the rest of the course, and we get, I pull over for my final parking, whatever. And so she's going through the list. She's like, you didn't do this. You have to look. You need to fix your center brake light in the back. You have to stay in this lane, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, God, lady, just rub it in. Like, I know I failed, whatever, but I'm being polite, And she's like, and you have to do this, and you passed. And I said, I passed? And she said, yeah. And she got out of the car. Like, she could not get away from me fast enough. Like, this woman was so annoyed with her job. But so I'm just, like, sitting in the car with my sheet of paper that says I passed. And I just, like, start crying. I'm just, like, crying on the window. And, like, I can see the row of cars waiting to take their tests. And like, they're looking at me, and I'm sure I look like I've just received horrible news. I'm crying. I'm an emotional mess. I broke my own rule. I passed, but I did cry. And so I get out of the car to go find my sister, who's been sitting in like a park bench. And I go up to her, and she's like, it's okay, dude. You could try again. And I was like, did you see me hit the pole? And she said, yeah, I did. It's all right. You can try again. And I was like, well, guess what, bitch? I passed! She was like, you passed! And then we, like, jumped and hugged and, like, screamed and stuff. Like, really, like, it felt like being 16 again. It really, really did. So that's my story. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more updates about being an adult child. Thank you.